Bus strikes tonight will take you to the front line of today's event on the Tower Hill Bridge and tell you why it was over in 4 hours. And we'll tell you about a croc attack on Keokauka. An American woman is in the hospital tonight because of it. Also, tourism in full color will take you to a major regional sustainable tourism conference in Belize. Plus, world crisis. Spiraling fuel prices are putting the world on a razor's edge. The Prime Minister outlines the plan for Belize. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Monday, April 27th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today. Only at Cellular World.
In Belize, some things aren't explained. They're passed down. Not because they're tradition, but because they've proven they work. When you work hard for what you have, you learn to protect it. And when the time comes, you pass that responsibility forward. Every generation faces new beginnings, but the choices that matter most are built on trust. For decades, Belizean families have relied on one place to protect their homes, their vehicles, and the lives they're building. When trust is passed down, you know it's been earned. For Belizean families, that trust has a name. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
2026 marks a major milestone in the history of Belize's healthcare sector. The 25th anniversary of the National Health Insurance (NHI) program and the long-awaited national rollout of NHI services to the Cayo district, finally fulfilling a dream of primary healthcare coverage for all Belizeans. What started as an idea in 1998 became a reality in 2001 and has served thousands of Belizeans over the last 2.5 decades by providing access to quality healthcare, now in every corner of Belize.
One of the central pillars of NHI is access to quality healthcare.
All Belizeans will have access to quality hospital services through a national health insurance system.
It's a milestone that the whole country and all of the people of Belize, anyone who has a social security card, it's minimal out-of-pocket expenses, it's high-quality primary care. It allows almost all the population then to have the same level of health care wherever you are.
In 1998, the then Honorable Said Musa convened a group of us to work on the manifesto, and then a group of people in the medical field, and started brainstorming of how we could better healthcare for Belizeans.
The beginning can be traced to a study done by Cambridge Consultancy, where they produced a document on how to improve healthcare in Belize. One of the features of that study was the proposal that we have national health insurance
As a matter of urgency, we will radically transform Belize's health system to ensure equitable access to quality health services.
It took a lot of courage to implement and begin the NHI. Prime Minister Musa made the bold decision to implement it.
So with a clear plan and vision for the future of Belize's healthcare sector, the NHI program was launched in Belize City's south side as a pilot project on August 9, 2001.
For the next 6 months, the 37,000 residents living on the south side of the Belize district will be able to receive free health care.
Prime Minister Said Musa, who cut the ribbon at today's opening, remains firmly committed to NHI.
But it will involve, as you no doubt have heard, the participation of 4 primary care facilities, 3 eye care centers, 5 pharmacies, laboratories, and 3 imaging centers in a new partnership between the public and private sector health providers.
You can walk into a primary care provider clinic. You can seek a consultation with a general practitioner. If in the event that you need a prescription, they will give you a prescription, and then you have a choice of 5 pharmacies where you can get that medication prescribed free of charge.
And though the NHI embarked on a journey to transform the country's health sector, it was met with its fair share of challenges.
It was a new concept.
It was a new idea, a very, very new concept. It was difficult. We met resistance from everybody. It was a up and down situation for many years until we finally convinced the Prime Minister at the time we needed to do a pilot project to see how it would function. We got consultants and we started the pilot project in the south side of Belize City.
Despite any prior reservations, in the 25 years that have followed, NHI has grown from a pilot project focusing on the south side of Belize City to a national health plan felt as far and wide as Pachacan in the north and as deep south as Dolores in the Toledo district. Today, NHI provides invaluable primary health care to some of Belize's most vulnerable members of society. And as it commemorates 25 years of service and a full national expansion, NHI is ready to move into the next phase of service to the Belizean people, with over 225,000 residents currently registered to the program and expectations for that number to reach over 300,000 after full national coverage.
We have 80,000 people with valid Social Security cards in the Cayo district. So we expect them to be the ones that will come to register for NHI.
Under this current administration, the NHI program has reached new heights, especially with financing from the proceeds of the sale of Toledo to the Belize Government Lotteries Limited. And with no plans to slow down anytime soon, the sky is the limit for NHI as it endeavors to serve Belize for another 25 years and beyond.
The expansion at 25 years is awesome. It marks a milestone. I believe it's going to be a legacy of the PP government in their effort and their endeavor to give quality care, access to care, and ensure that the people of Belize have what they deserve in terms of medical care.
Well, it's a milestone that the NHI is celebrating 25 years this year, 2026. I mean, now that we have achieved this so far, I would want, or my vision would be that the same applies to secondary health care, that it be extended into the hospital services countrywide. And I hope it doesn't take another 25 years for that to happen.
The role of the Social Security system will be expanded to increase its contributions with the establishment of a national health insurance program.
I think NHI is forever. It's not gonna go. It might change. It should change. Our communities change, so the way we serve them has to change. But the concept of NHI, the concept of having universal coverage of primary health care for our Belizean people is here to stay.
NHI, an enabler of quality health and wellness for all. The Ministry of Infrastructure, Development and Housing advises the public that works have commenced to upgrade the George Price Highway between Belize City and Hattieville. A contract was signed for the civil works to reconstruct the segment of the highway, and the project is now underway. The project is expected to be executed over the course of the next 3 years. The works include the widening of the roadway, construction of reinforced concrete drainage, scarification and improvement of the pavement and running surface, raising the road in flood-prone areas, application of hot mix asphalt pavement, construction of major and minor intersections, construction of bridges at Burton Canal and Hector Creek, and the provisions of road safety furniture to modernize road infrastructure and improve user safety. Works have commenced between miles 9 and 10. Every effort will be made to execute the works in a manner that minimizes inconvenience for road users. The ministry anticipates this to be a dynamic effort. Therefore, road users should expect travel delays within active construction zones. Motorists are advised to drive safely. Do not speed. Do not drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Do not drive recklessly. Please be courteous. Respect other road users. Adhere to the directions of traffic safety personnel and drive with due care and attention.
In Belize, change is taking shape every day. It all starts with game changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game changers are bringing this to life. Game changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the game changers.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The threat of a bus strike has been percolating for weeks, and it finally happened today. From 4:30 to 8:30 this morning, the Tower Hill Bridge was blocked by bus owners demanding clarity on a fuel subsidy government has promised them. This strike action by the Northern BBA members comes after a day of negotiations over bus fares that left the association unsatisfied and commuters in an uproar. The BBA rejected those new fares on Saturday, so the ministry scrapped them and agreed to give the members a fuel subsidy. But the members felt that proposal lacked key specifics, which is why they blocked the road at the Tower Hill Bridge in protest this morning. Courtney Menzies was on the ground and has this story.
Put it up from Facebook, make them know that we done the out here. I know for today, Johnny supposed to out there. Last time, Johnny did fight for gas to go down now.
This was the scene at the Tower Hill Bridge this morning at 4:30. Buses began blocking the Philip Colson Highway, effectively isolating the north and blocking traffic bound north and south of the New River. Then, in Biscayne, tires went up in smoke, sending a message to the government that the BBA means business. Commuters were forced to exit the buses they likely already paid for and start walking, hoping to find another way to work or school. This ambulance was held up for a bit until the bus driver allowed them to pass. At around 7 o'clock, the VP of the BBA said they were prepared to stay there for the long haul.
The president is in Belize, and they are saying that the prime minister called him and is willing to give a reduction of $3 on the gallon. We work out our math, and majority of the members, they don't want to go no less than $10.
Wow. You really think the government will give you guys that?
Well, if they cannot bear that burden, then we're going to continue out here.
How long are you guys planning to be out here this morning?
I cannot answer that question directly, but if the prime minister is interested, well, we are asking to give us a call, promising us that or to come here with us, negotiate with us, and once they can negotiate with us, then we can understand and we move immediately.
Fraser added that they know they are losing a day's revenue and wages, but they're at a breaking point in their operations.
When you think about the fuel subsidy, it's not gonna really work out if we do not get that reduction, no, because most of us would make maybe 500 and add round trip. Then we have wear and tear, we have conductors to pay, drivers to pay, and it's very, very, we are on the real loss. I have one of my members that, man, at the end of the week, she was $700 negative, you know, and we've been trying our best to avoid all this. I am fully aware, and they are aware, that millions of dollars will be lost today. Now, to tell you the truth, we know that our commuters need much better. We are trying, we have made big investment, but Mr. Zabani, who is the Minister of Transport, went ahead and formed the NBC National Bus Company. That is what is happening there. It is separating us.
And on the other side of the bridge, CEO Chester Williams arrived just to monitor the situation. He said that while they were surprised by the strike, the NBC was prepared to mobilize.
Of course, yes, we were surprised by it, but at the same time, we have been in discussions almost through the course of the night, discussing our contingency plan in the event that it would have occurred. So while yes, we're surprised, we're prepared for it.
So what's the plan now?
Well, you have heard the minister interview, and we are here to see if cooler heads is going to prevail. We would hope that the bus operators would bring reason to the table and clear the road and negotiate from there. I think in the interview of the president of the BBA, he have said that the prime minister will be making an announcement today, and he wants to meet with the prime minister. So then why not wait until the prime minister announcement and meeting with the PM before we do something like this? I think that by doing this before such a meeting is not acting in good faith. In contemplation that they would have strike this morning, we have put NBC buses in place to be able to fill the gap that will be left by these operators who chose not to run today. So again, just to inform the Belizean people that the NBC is operating in the area at this time, making sure that we're able to move commuters between the north and the Belize City and even Donopan.
And while Fraser apologized to their commuters, those who had to hop off the bus and catch an NBC one, or those in private vehicles who simply had to wait it out, had mixed opinions on the matter. How long are you out here?
Since 5 this morning with yeah.
Where were you heading?
To Ladyville.
When you got work?
Yeah. Yeah, with the work. So we know that you get paid this day. So
if you not reach, you don't get paid.
No.
What did you tell your boss this morning?
Well, I tell them that this is boss, so we can go through. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Stress because I just borrow $5, so because I don't have no money, so I need money.
You have to buy a breakfast, no?
Yeah. Me what time?
Nice?
Yeah. Huh?
Nice?
Kinda.
So what will you do now? You just have to wait it out?
Yes, we have to wait right now until these people say we could go. We do not have the fault, right? we want to work, but we don't have the fault that the government and the association of the bosses. So we don't have no fault. So it's unfair.
I have an appearance in Corozal before the magistrate's court this morning, and I'm scheduled to be there for 9 a.m., but it doesn't look like it will happen.
So what does that mean for yourself, your client, and everybody?
Well, my representation is due, and I will notify the court, and I assume that the court will either give me time or they will adjourn the matter. If we take a close look at the state of some of the buses running the road, then I can agree with them that maybe they need some sort of assistance. The people suffer in the end, and that is a very sad thing because I have seen people walking across the bridge. I don't know how they will reach where they are going, but it's a very sad state of affairs when the people suffer in the end. I believe that the government and the bus owners should come to some agreement so that things can start flowing again. I don't mind waiting. I mean, I always believe that you have to stand up for what you believe in.
I almost feel bad. I come check my granddaughter. She's very sick. I take 5 days to stay here. I live in Corsal, in San Pedro. I have property house in San Pedro, by my island. My people call me. They want to see me, but my son, they do rail up this morning with me.
So you were on your way back to city to catch a boat?
San Pedro, yes. I mean, want to go to the plane, but they tell me the same thing. I don't understand.
But do you understand what's happening out here today? Or why the buses are striking?
No.
You just get caught in the middle?
Yes, nothing. I don't know why they do this. I don't know.
But after 4 hours and a phone call with the Prime Minister behind the closed doors of a coach bus, an agreement was arrived at that the bus operators believe they can work with.
I called back the Prime Minister and we have agreed to give us the $3 discount from the fuel price. We will meet with Transport Department in Belmopan to do a slight fare adjustment. We have asked for a person from his office to be present because we believe that Mr. Zabani not a deal fair with us. And he asked that he will send that to me in a WhatsApp and then in black and white. We also promise him that we will be moving our bus, and that is what we are doing. We are about to do now.
This $3 fuel subsidy plus $1 increase on fares, that's enough for you guys?
Exactly. That's what we have agreed on.
This morning you wanted $10 fuel subsidy.
Well, negotiating, you never give your highest, you try to negotiate. And we want to work along with the Prime Minister, and we have agreed to work along with him. It's a 3 months subsidy, if you want to call it that. And he will watch the price of fuel, if it fluctuates up, down, or whatever, and maybe we can go back to the table if any adjustment is needed.
Do you feel like if you didn't block these roads today, you would not have gotten this subsidy and the fare increase that you're asking for?
Sometimes you have to take things to a certain extent. Say they would always want to see or almost want to see baby cry come they must.
The flow of traffic resumed at 8:30 a.m., meaning that the entire day of work was not lost. But it did serve as kind of a warning, an indication of how quickly the BBA can escalate matters when they are driven by desperation. And while traffic flowed this morning, the situation remains precarious. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
Via telephone this morning, the Prime Minister outlined the conversation he had with Fraser, but added that he doesn't believe it had to escalate to the point of blocking the road.
Basically, what I did, one of the members sent a message, Mr. Fraser, he wanted to speak with me. I called him. We had a very brilliant discussion. And what we have agreed to is that, one, that the government, which we had told them since yesterday, that we'll give them the $3 subsidy. He is saying that even without, they still see the need for a small rate increase. I said, well, then that we will agree to a small rate increase, but they need to sit down with the officials at the Ministry of Transport to discuss what that rate increase is going to be. It's going to be a minimal rate increase. And three, that they have asked our representative from my office to be at those meetings. I have agreed to have Ian Courtney to represent me, so we'll be sitting down in those meetings. Unfortunately, they were to clear up the highway immediately, and I'm told by a reporter who was on ground that that's what they've done. Huh?
You're happy with this outcome?
Well, I would have preferred that we did not have to go through all of this to close or to shut down the highways for an inconvenience the commuters for a few hours. All of that could have been avoidable.
So all's well that ends well? Well, not really, because there's still a lot of bad blood between the Belize Bus Association and the Ministry of Transportation. And some of it goes back to Saturday when the Ministry of Transport had a press conference at the Biltmore. Transport CEO Chester Williams was critical of BBA President Philip Jones and suggested he was being disingenuous.
Philip is a good man, but in leadership, a leader is one who must be able to influence his followers to follow him. A leader is not one who must be influenced by his followers to follow them, right? So he needs to change his role. And importantly, we need to learn to be honest to our people. As minister have said, it was not an easy thing for government to approve the increase, but because they asked for it and the government was looking at their plight, it was approved. But they wanted more than what government approved, and because they did not get the more than what was approved, that's the reason why now he turned it around and say, well, we will demonstrate now because we don't want no increase because it put burden on the Belizean people. Had it not been because of the 50 cents for the short drop, he would be jumping hallelujah, amen to heaven, because he would have gotten his increase that he wanted.
And that 50 cents for short stops is one of the major points of contention. It may not sound like much, but the Ladyville run in particular is a major sticking point. Adding 50 cents to the cost would bring it to $3 for a 10-mile run. That rate of 30 cents per mile is much higher, almost double the price of average runs.
The problem came in before Muscal because they want to consider that as a short drop, where they wanted the fee to go up, particularly Ladyville, where the current fee is $2.50, and they were suggesting $3. So we have the $3 in the column for that would deal with what they suggest, right? And like I said, in principle, that is what they have an issue with when they were told that a short stop was not approved.
But was it not approved? When Williams spoke to the press after a joint meeting last Thursday, he discussed that same 50 cents increase like it was a done deal.
As you would know that there is the short stops. Short stops will go up to like between 1 mile to 10 miles. And the short stops do have a cost. So the short stop, they add a slight increase to the short stop, which would be like maybe 50 cents. And then after the short stop, then apply the 18 cents per mile ratio.
But 2 days later on Saturday, he changed the narrative and said that slight increase actually needed cabinet approval, which it did not get.
So we told them, myself and Director Logue, that we're going to put the suggestion down, but bearing in mind that when we finish with the calculation, myself or Ms. Logue, in fact, not even the minister has the authority to say, well, yes, it's a go. We'll have a senator minister. Minister will have to discuss it with his colleagues in cabinet, and then if they agree, then it's a go. So when we completed the process, we had the press brief, and you would have heard the president of the BBA said that he was extremely satisfied with the process.
And when it comes to the NBC, the BBA has been carrying a narrative that they have been getting 19 cents per mile, which is a falsehood that the CEO wanted to address head on.
They were saying that NBC is getting 19 cents per mile, which is not true. That is the gist of this, It's not about the stop. And
are they making that on any ronda, 19
no,
cents per mile?
No. And just to be fair again, if you look at the distance from Punta Gorda town to the junction, in fact, maybe all the way to Indian Creek village, there's a lot of villages along that road that James have to stop, right? And then there's just perhaps about 20 miles to Independence where there's not much stoppage. Then from Independence again to Dangriga, there are many villages there that they have to stop as well. So James could have had the argument as well that the run from PG to Belize City do have a lot of stoppages as well. So for me, it is not about the stop, but rather the fact that they have categorically stated that NBC is getting 19 cents per mile, which is not true.
For balance, we have seen proof of short runs where the NBC is getting more than 19 cents per mile. We'll take a first break. When we come back, how will the government of Belize respond to spiraling fuel prices worldwide? In a special statement, the Prime Minister outlines the plan for Belize. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
When the job calls, you need a truck that works as hard as you do. Strong, reliable, and built for the load. The Jack Freight Truck gets the job done. From the lumberyard to the work site, power your business with confidence. I can count on Jack to get the job done right.
Bye, bro. Take a quick pic of you right here, bro.
All right. Wait a second. Why? By the looks of it, I think my phone done.
Bye. Please tell me, I want to use that thing again, bro.
But to be serious and to be honest with you, I can't afford to spend big money on phone right now.
Bye, but who said anything about spending big money? Smarter than the agric. They got phone deals, plans, they have everything that agric right now.
No, man.
But yes, it happened right now. Plus, they even have raffle and they raffle money, then they raffle TV, everything.
Well, I think we need to ride the agric right now.
But I agree, let's go
Let's go
now.
Visit the Smart Booth any of the 3 days from May 1st to 3rd at Agric 2026. Get amazing deals on phones and plans and your chance to win a cell phone, 55-inch TV, and cash. Smart, bringing people together.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing advises the public of ongoing works for the upgrading of the George Price Highway between La Democracia and Belmopan. A contract was signed for the civil works to reconstruct this segment of the highway, and the project is expected to be executed over the course of the next 3 years. The works include widening of the roadway, construction of passing lanes in industrial zones, traffic separation within village limits, scarification and improvement of the pavement and running surface, raising of the road in flood-prone areas, application of hot mix asphalt pavement, construction of major and minor intersections and a roundabout at the entrance to the George Price Boulevard, entry and exit points for the new hospital to be built, the construction of a bridge at Mount Pleasant Creek, and the provision of road safety furniture to modernize road infrastructure and improve user safety. Every effort will be made to execute the works in a manner that minimizes road user inconvenience. But all road users should expect and plan for travel delays within active construction zones. Please, drive safely. Do not speed. Do not drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Do not drive recklessly. Please be courteous, respect other road users, adhere to the direction of traffic safety personnel, and drive with due care and attention.
On May 2nd, Placencia comes alive, an evening of wine, music, and unforgettable moments on the beach at Naya Resort and Spa, featuring Marcus Johnson, Jay Cass, Chris Bradshaw, and special guest Goa Pillay. Saturday, May 2nd, 7 to 11 p.m. live at Naya Resort and Spa, Finds in Paradise 2026. Don't miss it.
Are you a barber or stylist ready to grow your own business? At Nature Provides, we're building more than just a salon. We're creating a space for entrepreneurs like you. Our fully equipped facility, located at 9423 Basil Coleman Street, Belize City, is ready for professionals who are serious about their craft and ready to build their brand. With booths available for rent, you'll have the opportunity to work in a clean, professional, and welcoming environment designed to support your growth. If you're ready to take the next step, we have a space for you. Nature Provides, where your talent meets opportunity. Contact us today.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Look here, your kitchen light there, you never in the kitchen. But I'm going back in there right now. And the coffee maker? Just to try keep me the coffee warm for later. What do you know? I'll try to think about what to eat. You know, the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool. For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now? No. Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads? But this is my favorite shirt. You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
I'm Randolph Friesen and I manage Westville Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported and we said, you know, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly. And just overall, their service is excellent.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Just before news time, the Prime Minister released a 12-minute statement discussing his government's response to rising fuel prices and cost-saving measures that Cabinet is being forced to implement. First, though, after the price of diesel increased by $1.35 per gallon on Friday at midnight, Briceño explained that the tax on the fuel has not increased and that, in fact, the government is already absorbing some of it. He then goes on to say that the bus operators will receive a 3-month fuel subsidy in the first instance.
When the acquisition cost of fuel rises, that is to say, the price paid by Puma and its suppliers, the excise tax collected by the government does not rise. This is a fixed amount. And this amount, the excise tax collected, has been significantly reduced by the government since the start of this crisis. In fact, the excise tax charged on regular gasoline has been cut by 68 cents, and the excise tax charged on diesel has been cut by $1.55. These two tax reductions amount to $4.7 million per month, or a projected $60 million for this budget year. I assure you that if the acquisition cost for fuel continues to rise, the Cabinet will consider further adjustments. We are mindful that if oil prices continue to rise, the government may need to introduce more substantial cost-saving measures. If and when that time comes, we will, of course, engage with our partners to ensure proper consultations. With regard to domestic transportation and the recent issues with our bus operators concerning bus fares, the Cabinet determined that pricing for routes operated by the nascent National Bus Company will remain at current rates. For private bus operators who demanded rate increases, the government has approved a generous subsidy that specifically covers the incremental fuel cost. Over the next 3 months, government will provide a $3 per gallon fuel subsidy to all private bus operators. This measure is intended to prevent any major increases in bus fares for commuters who travel within or outside their districts during this period.
But what's Cabinet doing? Well, among a list of things, the PM said they'll try their best to cut down on travel and opt for virtual meetings.
Cabinet and I, therefore, have agreed to the following. Firstly, we will defer $30 million in capital expenditures previously programmed for this budget year. Secondly, $25 million will be cut from goods and services allocated across all ministries and departments. Thirdly, we will continue to tighten expenditure by significantly reducing foreign and local travel, which will require less subsistence for meetings. This will be achieved by insisting on attending and organizing meetings and conferences virtually. We will also continue to cut the government's fuel bill by limiting the use of government vehicles. At the end of the first quarter, we will assess budget performance to determine what additional measures are necessary.
You can see the full statement on our Facebook page. Tonight, an American woman is in the KHMH recovering after she was bitten by a crocodile. It happened at a popular swimming location near the Split in Kekauke. Fortunately, she was not seriously injured. She was airlifted to Belize City for medical treatment and is now in stable condition. ASP Stacey Smith explained further as to what happened.
Acting on information received, police visited the Kekauke Health Center where they met with Nicole Robinson, an American national and businesswoman of Kekauke, who reported that sometime around 3:30 a.m., she and other friends took a swim in front of Sit and Dip and while she was in the water, she was pounced upon by a crocodile which bit her on her elbow. She was transported for medical attention and she is listed in a stable condition.
A local crocodile expert said that pre-dawn hours is usually feeding time for crocs. 19-year-old Kenrick Robinson has been charged for the murder of Jamir Cambranes, while police are still seeking 3 more male persons in connection to his murder. Police say that they have not established that any of the young men are gang members.
As a consequence of the ongoing investigation into the murder of 19-year-old Jamir Cambranes, which occurred on 22nd April 2026, police have formally arrested and charged 19-year-old Kenrick Robinson of Belize City for the crime of murder. Police are seeking 3 more male persons in connection with this investigation.
What can police tell us by way of an update as to the motive at this time?
No clear motive has been established. However, I can say that this arrest and the other impending arrests are substantiated by footages that have been retrieved from the Crime Fusion Center. And as I indicated on the last occasion, the processing of both the scene and the vehicle also aided in the investigation.
Has it already been established if they are gang members?
The individuals who are being sought, well, they have not been convicted of being member of a gang, so I will not pass any speculation as it relates to that. And as I stated, no clear motive has been established.
Robinson was arraigned and remanded to prison today. Police moved fast to recover a Toyota Hilux after it was stolen from the FFB in Belmopan on Saturday morning. It happened early in the morning before 3 a.m. when they tied up the security guard. He didn't get free until almost an hour later, but police took only 20 minutes to intercept the stolen vehicle and the driver near Kaya Creek, a border village. Police told us more.
The investigation commenced on Saturday, 25th April 2026 at around 3:40 a.m. when officers in Belmopan were advised of the theft of a white Toyota Hilux being the property of the Football Federation of Belize. The security guard reported that he was inside the booth at around that time when he was awakened by 2 masked male persons forcing their way into the booth. Upon making their entry into the booth, they are reported to have restrained the male person, being the security guard, and took a key belonging to the Hilux and eventually drove off with it. Upon learning of this information, the standard operating procedures were put into place because we are aware that when vehicles are stolen, they are done with a view to taking them across the border in Guatemala. So all of the policing efforts in the Western region, as well as the operational units, were mobilized at strategic locations. This proved favorable as the vehicle was spotted along Santa Rosa Road sometime around 3:55 a.m. and it was pursued, and that pursuit concluded near Kala Creek Bridge. Police have since detained 1 male person and are seeking 2 others as a part of this ongoing investigation. There was no assistance of the tracker. It was because of policing work in terms of placing them at strategic checkpoints, strategic locations.
How many persons were inside of the vehicle at the time?
No one was found inside of the vehicle. However, 1 person was detained in the immediate vicinity, and it is a continuing investigation. We have extracted a number of video footages that we believe will aid us in bringing this investigation to a conclusion.
Would you be able to hint if it was like an inside job?
As I said, it's an ongoing investigation. As more information is obtained and it becomes necessary to be disclosed, it will be disclosed.
A 45-year-old lost his life after being knocked down by an NBC bus on Saturday night at the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway. Police say that Arnaldo Sochite veered into the bus's lane, causing the collision.
Police are investigating a fatal traffic accident that led to the death of Arnaldo Sochite, a 45-year-old of San Juan Village. The investigation commenced at around 6:30 p.m. on Saturday, 25th April 2026, when police were advised of a road traffic accident between miles 24 and 25 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway. The investigating officer reported that upon his arrival, he observed an injured and unresponsive Sochite, and he also observed a damaged Lifan brand motorcycle, as well as a bus belonging to the National Bus Company, which also showed damage to the left side. What we have uncovered so far in the course of the investigation is that the motorcycle and the bus were traveling in opposite direction, and it is alleged that the motorcycle, which Sochite was driving, veered into the lane of the bus, causing the collision.
This morning during the BBA Tower Hill blockage, police responded but kept it low-key. But in other areas like the Boraboom Junction, which was blocked, bus driver Charles Swift was detained along with 2 other bus conductors. Police told us about the operations that took place.
Certainly, it was a matter that we were monitoring for quite some time, and we had operational efforts in place. Certainly, we recognize that the issue that is raised is one that touches and concerns all Belizeans, and certainly we want to afford persons who are disgruntled the ability to protest. However, we have recognized also the need to maintain law and order to ensure that citizens are able to move and get to their respective locations at free will, at their liberty. Certainly, the directive was to ensure to avoid any confrontation and to conduct ourselves as professional as possible whilst the negotiations occur. And we are grateful that that did happen, and we were able to conclude this morning's operation without any incident.
Swift received a $50 ticket for obstructing the flow of traffic and was released within 2 hours. Turning over the weekend, police conducted several busts which all led to cocaine seizures, suggestive of the increasing popularity of the drug. Police provided more detail.
Police have formally arrested and charged 6 persons who are believed to be peddlers of crack cocaine for the offense of possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply, more commonly known as drug trafficking, as a consequence of several operations that were conducted countrywide over the past week. Eddie Hernandez of San Ignacio was charged for possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply in relation to 4.66 grams of cocaine. Joshua Burns of Cotton Tree Village in relation to 2.8 grams of cocaine. Stefan Hyde and Jayani Wade of San Pedro for 2.8 grams of cocaine. Gilliam Mejia of Belmopan City, she was charged for 2 counts in relation to 1.25 grams of crack cocaine and 5.5 grams of crack cocaine, as well as Burton Goroy of Belize City, who was also charged for 2 counts in relation to 28.7 grams of cocaine and 90.9 grams of crack cocaine.
And turning now to tourism, today a major tourism conference started on San Pedro. It's called Tourism in Full Color, integrating blue, green, orange, and beyond economies into sustainable planning and development. In conjunction with the Caribbean Tourism Organization, leaders, policy makers, and global experts are spending 3 days redefining sustainable planning and shaping the future of tourism in the Caribbean. Today was the opening, and Jomari Lanza has this report.
The 17th Caribbean Sustainable Tourism Conference kicked off in San Pedro this morning. Opening the event, the CTO Council Chairman highlighted the shared challenges facing tourism-dependent nations across the region.
The continued fight for climate justice as small island developing states, as we see equitable access to global financing to protect the very environments on which our tourism industries are based. An evolving traveler expectations with visitors seeking more authentic, meaningful, and responsible experiences. In the face of these realities, the Caribbean cannot afford to simply depend on tourism we must reimagine tourism. This is why our presence here at STC 2026 is so critical. The conference is not only about sustainability in the traditional sense, it is about integration and innovation. It challenges to reimagine how tourism interacts with the wider economy and society. The theme for this year's conference captures the vision, tourism in full color, integrating blue, green, orange, and beyond economies into sustainable planning and development.
Belize is among one of the first to complete its nationally determined Contributions 3.0 and is finalizing its multi-sectoral national adaptation plan, estimated to be an investment of $1.5 billion, to build climate resilience across all sectors of the economy. The minister spoke about what this journey has been like transitioning to regenerative tourism.
This is not theory. This is action. And it matters because tourism in Belize depends on nature, the natural wonders that God has blessed us with. So we have to continue to do things differently. The new way of tourism is built on a few key pillars. The destination is treated as a living system to be protected and revitalized, and not a product to be consumed. Biodiversity and ecosystems are actively restored, not just protected. Local traditions and knowledge are brought to life through travel experiences, and all actions must generate concrete, long-term, measurable results for both the environment and our communities.
Keynote speaker Dame Panya Tyson-Nathan, a champion of Indigenous-led tourism development, spoke on the need to ensure the protection of our culture and heritage beyond being seen and used as a marketable tourism product.
If tourism is the economy, then our culture is the infrastructure. These are not ideas that sit alongside the business. They shape the business. And sometimes the decision is not to grow. Sometimes the decision is to protect and or change tact. The colour economies, and this is where the colour economies must come together. Our oceans, our environment, culture and creativity, our identity and heritage. It should be acknowledged that tourism in full colour suggests balance, but in reality these systems are not always balanced. In regions like this, the question of people goes well beyond employment. It touches on population dynamics, access to opportunity, and ultimately who holds the influence within the system. So, look, easy for me to stand here. We have different challenges and opportunities, and not all things are equal. These are not parallel tracks. They are independent layers of the same system. You cannot protect the environment without protecting people. You cannot build a premium tourism future on discounted culture and history, on discounted environment or discounted people. You cannot build premium destinations on discounted values.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
The Senate will meet for 2 days, with today being the first. 6 bills were brought from the House, and the meeting is still ongoing. One of those bills was the controversial trade licensing bill. It aims to set annual fee structures for towns and villages, which means even smaller vendors in remote villages will be affected. However, the senators argued that this bill isn't complete as is because it omits how the tax will be calculated. Here's a snippet of their arguments.
These are all Belizeans, Madam President, who have for generations operated outside of the reach of the old Trade Licensing Act because they live in villages. Because the law spoke only of tongues, they were never considered. But today, Madam President, with this bill, the state extends its hands into the village economy for the very first time. And the question everyone of those Belizeans living in those villages are entitled to ask, and they're asking today through us, their representatives, it's a simple one. what will I pay?
It is clear that there was a lot of corruption under the old regime, a lot. Where people were paying side by side different rates based on the payment of other fees. But the net effect is inequity. And I think this is why it's so important that we understand what a provision like saying you will 19 that you will declare the trade matrix in regulations is important, because at this point you just don't know what will be the tax and how the tax will be applied, and that uncertainty is dangerous, especially when you're now moving the transitional provision, because it will be where people who had been paying a certain trade license fee historically they don't know at the point where we pass this, or right now, if we remove the transitional provision, how high or how low their trade license will go. It's a sort of a gamble. We have definitions in the bill that say what is to be used to calculate and so. But the truth is that then people hustle when they go shake down businesses for determined square footage and the like.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, Jules goes into the archives for a history of riots on the Tower Hill Bridge, and we'll tell you about criminals posing as cops who were caught this evening. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing hereby reminds the public of construction works being carried out for the expansion and rehabilitation of a portion of the Philip Wilson Highway from mile 8 to mile 24.5. Work is well underway. From mile 24.5 to the Lord's Bank Junction, upgrades will include hot mix, asphalt and concrete paving, wide shoulders on both sides of the road, a roundabout at the Borough Boom Junction, culvert installation, and large drains, the construction of bus shelters, road signs and marking, and properly designated junctions at the entrance of the Old Northern Highway, Maxborough, the HRCU housing community, and Los Lagos. From Lord's Bank to the Vista Del Mar Junction, upgrades will include expansion to a 4-lane highway with hot mix, asphalt and concrete paving, wide shoulders, sidewalks and drains on both sides, roundabouts at the Lord's Bank Road, Mirage Road, Billiken Road, and Airport Road intersections, designated pedestrian crossings, culvert installation and the clearing of the canal, installation of bus shelters, and road signs and markings. Every effort will be made to execute the works in a manner that minimizes road user inconvenience. But all road users should expect and plan for travel delays within active construction zones. Please, drive safely. Do not speed. Do not drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Do not drive recklessly. Please be courteous. Respect other road users. Adhere to the direction of traffic safety personnel and drive with due care and attention.
On May 2nd, Placencia comes alive, an evening of wine, music, and unforgettable moments on the beach at Naya Resort and Spa, featuring Marcus Johnson, Jay Cass, Chris Bradshaw, and special guest Goa Play. Saturday, May 2nd, 7 to 11 p.m. live at Naya Resort and Spa, Finds in Paradise 2026. Don't miss it.
Hey Belize! Our country is known worldwide for its natural beauty, from our barrier reef to our rainforest. But there's a growing threat to our paradise. Global plastic production has skyrocketed to 400 million tons per year, and without action, plastic waste flowing into our waters will nearly triple by 2040, from around 11 million tons in 2016 to around 29 million tons in 2040. Here at home, the situation is just as concerning. In 2024 alone, Belize imported over 13.3 million plastics and over 12 million plastic lids and caps. What might seem like just one plastic bottle or one chips bag adds up quickly. During our National Cleanup Day, almost 26,000 plastic bottles were collected, and that's just one day of effort. But here's the good news. We can all be part of the solution. Use waste bins, keep a litter bag in your car. Wait until you find a proper disposal site. These simple actions make a real difference. Join us in keeping Belize clean. Our Belize, our responsibility. Bini.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Late reports into our newsroom are that there was a fatal accident on the Southern Highway this evening. It happened in Bella Vista, Toledo, where a man on a motorcycle sustained a head injury after a bus hit him. And there are reports of a homicide on a farm near Santa Marta, Orange Walk, where 70-year-old Francisco Garcia was fatally chopped. We'll have more details on this tomorrow. This evening, a pair of robbers posing as police pulled off a daring robbery. Reports are that two men wearing black uniforms marked police robbed a vape store at gunpoint on Daly Street. They escaped on motorcycle and were pursued by police officers. They were later captured on Huchner Crescent near the Freetown gas station. We have confirmed that each of them was found with a gun. The Tower Hill Bridge. It spans the New River and connects northern Belize to the rest of the country. And there's no easy way around it, which is what makes it a strategic pressure point for those wanting to spark some kind of civil unrest. We've seen it used strategically a number of times throughout the years, as it was today. And Jules Vasquez went into the archives for some context.
Today saw another chapter in the colorful, often contentious history of the Tower Hill Bridge as a strategic point of resistance. We've been covering disputes there for 26 years, and thankfully, this morning's one was the most peaceful. In March of 2000, the then Deputy Prime Minister Briceño went out there personally to try and reassure commuters who led that strike.
That's why we have to make sure they don't obstruct the people. We have to take care of people, period.
Mr. Harris said that he want to get the prices as it is, and he can't lose. Yes. We want to know that Mr. Gilhari is there for make we tell
Mr. Gilhari could say what he want. We want to take care of it now, all right?
Today, though, Briceño did not come out there to meet the striking northern bus operators, but he was still the one who negotiated with them by phone and got them to compromise and quit the strike in 4 hours. But rewind 25 years, back to 2001, and the riot on Tower Hill did not end so easily. Not at all. There was hell to pay on that day. Keith Swift told the story at the time.
July 30th of 2001, again in Orange Walk, when the Department of Transport cancelled a village run by Tillot's and Castillo's bus lines. An angry mob, faithful to Tillot's and resentful of the ever-encroaching Novello's monopoly, fought for their bus company, and against a sense of being marginalized by her behemoth and a disconcerted, maybe even complicit Department of Transport. Those feelings stirred anger and wrath in the mob and brought out a militance and a disrespect for armed personnel that had not been seen in Belize for decades. And the images that played out on the sweltering July day would become iconic. The sight of a BDF soldier lining up his rifle at protesters and hitting two of them. Police relegated to using rocks to defend themselves. A bloodied soldier, a bonfire of discontent. It was enough to bring a nation to a halt.
It would be many years before we were back on Tower Hill for a conflict. Fast forward to 2017, and this time, Briceño led the charge. What is your intention out here today?
This is something spontaneous. We just want to make sure that the Prime Minister understands to the demands of the people. And we are going to make the point. We are going to make the point that we have had enough.
Sure, but you're fomenting a volatile situation. We just saw a very serious police officer enter with tear gas.
Well, then they have to do what? Let them do what they want to do. This government has lost the moral authority.
It did get volatile. And one of our colleagues was famously thrown to the pavement by the police. And Briceño, well, he got a proper haul and pull for no reason really, but it sure looked good on camera.
And that's fine. And that is fine. I am doing this for the people of this country.
Sounds much like what the bus operators said today. which is why perhaps the Prime Minister compromised so quickly. Both Briceño and the bus operators had been here before and know how troublesome Tower Hill can get.
And finally, the Bliss Center was packed today with relatives and proud parents trying to capture all the angles of their preschoolers' performance. We stopped in for the afternoon segment of the Preschool Festival of Arts. Jo Marie Lanza reports.
Some danced, some recited a poem, or gave a lovely rendition of I'm a Little Teapot. These petite preschoolers braved the stage at the Bliss today, performing a total of 40 items between roughly about 20 different schools. The focus of this year's performance aligned with the theme selected for the Festival of Arts this year, celebrating creativity, culture, and community. Dance teacher and adjudicator Crisel Gabriel Moro explained what that meant.
So for the Festival of Arts, I was one of the adjudicators that was able to help reshape and redo the adjudication sheets to make them a little bit more inclusive, to make them more sensitive towards cultural groups and their traditional dances, and specifically dance for me. I also travel to the different districts to also adjudicate and teach teachers how to teach dance and facilitate some of the workshops.
Although coordinating these little ones to learn a specific item requires hours of patient practice, Moro says that the show itself teaches them important life skills, things you can't learn sitting down in a classroom.
Why do you think it's important that they engage in these type of activities and learn to be on stage and learn to work together and learn to be organized?
These are all tools that they will need in life. So working in groups helps you to enjoy a workforce, to be a productive citizen in a community. It teaches you discipline, being on time, being punctual, musicality, how to start and stop when necessary. It really just it brings out a side of you that's not meant for the classroom, but teaches you things for life skills to move on. So when I say not meant only for the classroom, is because it's not just academic. Yes, you are learning something academic, but academic in Belize tends to be just math and English and, but these things are what helps to tie in. When you're dancing, you're counting. When you are saying a poem and projecting, you're learning how to speak in front of large crowds. Maybe in the future you end up being a leader in your community and you have to be talking in front of people. So it teaches you skills that you're going to utilize as you go on, and also teaches you appreciation for other people and other people's art forms, and it helps you to also cope in life. When things get hard, this helps you to slow down. It helps you to manage. It's like a stress reliever as well, no? And creativity. It gives you a lot of that intuitive style learning. Not everybody learns pen and paper. Some learn by doing, and this helps you as well.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great night. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.